the world's greatest podcast in America, John Reed, Cody McClure. Cody, how's Texas?
Oh, everything's all right here, John. It's good to be here today. Good to be anywhere. Howdy. Howdy to you. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Something seems off.
I just feel a little sad, feel a little down.
You sad and down?
A little bit. Nothing major. Just running ragged.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Well, let's get into this. Let's break this down. I want you to feel better.
I'll feel better. I'm just feeling blah. Sometimes it be like that.
Okay. That's not a lot of information. It's very vague.
Well, my dad died 2 days from now, 4 years ago.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. 4 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just the first week of May is always a little tough for me, I think.
Well, I knew it was coming up. I wasn't sure exactly what the day was.
Yeah, May 4th.
That's right.
If you ever need to remember, it's that fucking Star Wars Day.
That's what I was going to say. You got to hear that Star Wars shit.
And it's that fucking Star Wars thing. So I think I just get sad at the beginning of May.
Yeah. Well,
also, I feel fat. I feel fat. I feel like I've packed on some pounds. I don't know if I have enough time for cardio, and I haven't made time in the evenings to be consistent. So I'm really going to try to lose some weight over the next 2 months.
Yeah. Well, feeling fat, that's not just a feeling. I mean, that's a state of being also. I mean, that's just, you get into that and you really feel that. The feeling of fatness, it can overwhelm the body.
Yeah, and then I sit here and I'll get myself on the camera, and I'm like, yeah, my face is looking swollen. My clothes feel a little tighter. I'm like, are they shrinking? I'm like, no, you're just expanding. But I'm gonna try over the next 2 months to really hammer down. That's my goal. I'm putting it on the podcast. I'm putting it on wax to hold myself accountable. The way I got it in my head is from, it's always starting soon, but the 4th is that anniversary. July 9th is his birthday. So like I'm going to try to go from the 4th to the 9th of July being pretty healthy and try to get some things back on track. That's in my head. That's the way I'm going.
Kind of do it for Dad. I mean,
in a way. Well, hopefully, now that I put it out there, if I'm still a fat piece of shit in 2 months, everyone's gonna be like, "Wow, this guy didn't care anything about his dad's memory. He still looks fat as hell." So yeah, like in my head though, like, I'm gonna try to 2 months try to get my health a little bit in order because I'm starting to get a little sore. Knees are starting to creak a little bit. Well, I'm starting to get a little winded, just doing normal things. I've let the cardio slip, so I'm going to try to cut out. I'm going to make a real run at cutting out on soda. I'm going to make it happen. I've given myself 2 free passes to not be too extreme. I'm going to, every now and then I still go to Jersey Mike's on Mondays. So if that's the case, combo, what can I do? Yeah. And otherwise, the movie theater. I'm going to keep drinking my soda at the movie theater, but I'm not going to have any in the house. Not going to have any at work. I'm just going to water. I'm going to drink water everywhere else.
Are you going to go to the movies every day? Because you see a lot of movies.
That's the question. I'm going to try to keep my movie. I mean, I still probably go to the movies once a week. Hopefully, this loophole does not lead me to go to the movies 5 or 6 times a week to make up for it. But yeah, I'll still probably try to go to the movies once a week, especially. We're getting ready to get to movie season, starting basically now. Now is like the time when the blockbusters and the big-time movies are supposed to kind of come out, the summer blockbuster season. It kind of started 2 or 3 weeks ago with a good run of movies, but yeah. I'm going to give myself the movie theater because I still like that, but yeah, I'm going to try to get my health in order over the next 2 months.
Well, if you need any inspiration, I want you to feel better. I want you to be happy. So you can always look at me, while we do this podcast. If it helps you to feel better about yourself, just look at me. And I think I could be an inspiration in a way that, like, you look at me and you say, my God, I hope I could never get to that. You know,
No,
that should
I got to
help
be
me.
honest. I got to be honest. I look at you and I'm like, our face is the exact same size in this.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but
here I don't get the full body shot. Like, yeah, sure. Like when I was sitting next to you and I saw that big old belly, sure, yeah, maybe it helps then. But when we're just looking head to head, I'm like, people watching this maybe think we're the same exact size. We both are pretty broad shouldered and we both got big heads and round faces.
well, let me give you
And
a
I, and, I,
little.
and I'm a little self conscious about the upcoming McDonald's power rankings that we're going to do because people go like, yeah, look at these two fat asses power ranking McDonald's. And I'm already ready for that too. I'm in a bad place mentally. I'm in a bad place mentally and physically.
Well, things will certainly improve. Things always get better with time. You'll start shedding pounds. You'll see changes on the scale. Although, I tried to get on my scale the other day, and I think I broke it. I think I broke my scale. So I tried to buy some new batteries for it, and I put the batteries in, and then I kept getting on the scale, and I don't know if it's out of balance or what's wrong with it, but it kept telling me I weighed like 180 pounds, and I was like, that's not, that's not even close enough to make you think it's, that's like half my weight. And so
if it said like 315, you'd be like, oh shit,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, maybe so. But obviously there's something out of balance with it at 180. So I just threw it in the dumpster. Like, I'm not gonna weigh anymore.
Can I ask you, why were you weighing in the first place? Like, for as much as you move and how few of belongings you talk about having, why was a scale on move number 3 for you in the last, 5 months?
Because whether or not I actually improve, I've always got it on my mind. I've always got improvement on my mind. I always think I'm going to take steps in the right direction. So whether or not I actually do is a whole other thing.
So you get on the scale and you see a lower number and you're like, oh, that's not so bad, or it's the same number, or within 5 pounds. You're like, okay, we haven't wasted too much progress here.
Right. And I got to think at least my mentality is right about it, like, or at least it's on the right track. Like I'm obviously not consistent enough in doing the things I need to do, but the fact that I'm even mindful of it is, I think it's better to be that way than some people. You know what I mean? People that just eat like shit constantly and don't even think about change. So
honestly, honestly, maybe I wish I was with the same mentality, because I definitely feel like I put some pounds back on. But if I had been on the scale once a week, seeing the pounds go on, maybe it would have made me say, "Whoa, Nelly, hold your horses. We got to go the other way." Versus like, "Hey, here's 3 pounds this week. Here's 3 pounds this week," and next thing you know, 15 pounds are back. Like, maybe I kind of feel like that's what happened to me. So maybe you got it figured out.
How much do you weigh?
I haven't got on a scale. I haven't got on a scale really honestly in 4 years. I mean, right at the beginning of COVID, I got on the scale and I saw I was 250.
Okay.
And like basically really like a week. I mean, honestly, about this time in 2020. So basically like right when my dad was dying, like I'd weighed around that time, and I was like 248, 249. And that's the most I've ever seen on the scale. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I gotta get this under control. So
do you feel fatter than that now? Or do you think
No, I don't feel fatter than that. No. But definitely don't feel like around 2021, I probably would say I'd say 20 pounds.
Yeah, you thinned up there for a while. I will say, though, just the angle that you're sitting at right now, like
it doesn't look great.
From the chest
it doesn't
up,
look great.
from like the nipples up, you do look like 290. Like, just from
I'm not
like,
290.
When you've got the shoulder hunched over like that, Now, see, you look much more fit there. But like, just
I'm not 290. I'm not 290.
I know.
But I would say I've probably gotten back up to, if I was guessing, and like realistically, I'd probably say I'm back up to 240. Now there's more muscle on there, a lot more muscle than there would have been in 2020, because I am still lifting. I am still like, getting stronger and doing that. So like there's definitely muscle there versus fat. Like where I would have said I was very little muscle and just all fat in 2020. So like that scale is going to be a lot different, even if it's 240 versus 249. Like I'd still be in much better shape than then.
Well, what has changed recently that's made you feel like you're out of shape? I mean, because you still go to the gym.
this podcast has really because
having to see me again.
Well, no, honestly, just the Monday and Thursday during the day has given me an excuse on those days to skip a lot. Like I've skipped a lot of Mondays and Thursdays in the gym. Now, sometimes I'll go afterwards. Sometimes I'll still go before, but I'd say I've batting about 50% on these days. And that's big. And I always tell myself I'm going to do the weekends, but then I get drunk on Friday and I don't want to lift hungover. And then Sunday, I'm like, it's a nice Sunday. I'm going to relax. So like that. Really just Thanksgiving. Like Thanksgiving derailed me, and I haven't switching to the morning show. Like I've talked about it, I'm just tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired, and just it's dangerous for me to go in there and lift heavy weights while being sleep deprived. Because I feel like it's knocked off my strength, and I'm really just making excuses. Like it's on me. I got to get better. Yeah. And again, I'm really going to try to lock in starting really today. I mean, I know I said the 4th, but I'm going to start today. I'm going to make sure I go to the gym. I got my water. And I'm really going to try for 2 months, because we got some plans, at the station and being more on camera and doing some things in football season. So I do want to look good during football season. I don't want to look like a fat ass. Everyone calls me a fat ass on Twitter. That's what all the opposing fan base is saying. 2001, 2020, or 2021, 22. I was like, I'm not that fat. I'm in pretty good shape. But somebody called me a fat ass now. I might actually be like, you know what? It is the head. It is the head. But I feel like my Avi on Twitter, I don't look that chubby in it. So I feel like it's a pretty good Avi. But if they called me a fat, bald, fat ass right now, I'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. So I need to get that in shape before football season.
Well, everybody knows you're a very smart fellow. But see, this is the downside of having the big brain. Is there's no head reduction surgery you can do. I mean, you're always going to have that head, whether you weigh 160 or 170. And so that's just part of it. And that's a genetic draw you got. And, you've done fine with it to this point. So, I mean, it's just the way it's going to be. We all get certain draws genetically that we're not happy about. It's like
I didn't really get much. I really didn't get much on the genetic side, I'll be honest.
I didn't either. Short, fat, balding, small dick, everything. I got all the bad things you can get. Big belly. I'm hairy, but it's like patches of hair. It's just disgusting looking hair.
You got a nice beard. You at least got that going for you.
I don't have much. I don't have like piercingly beautiful eyes. I don't have like a nice nose or ears. I'm just, Your
nose and ears are okay. I would say the hairline ain't great. I'll be honest. Like it's better than mine. It's not great. Being 5'9" isn't great either. I feel for you there.
5'10" cocksucker. 5'10" and a half.
You are a little stumpy, but I
got these short ass legs. Like that's the worst thing is the cheerleader. I think I've told you before about the cheerleader in high school. When I was in high school, how my good friend, we were dear friends, Roxanne. She was like 5'2". And her legs and my legs were the exact same length. So I've got this weird upper body, long torso, but very short, stubby legs. So, these things, I mean, it's like I'm saying, with the head, you're not going to beat the head. But all you can do is try to improve around it. Let's look at the key elements of health, and let's look at what you're missing. Because I think sleep is the most important, because you drink a lot of water. You exercise.
I do drink a lot of water.
You go to the gym.
I don't exercise enough. I do. I've been lifting, but not getting the cardio. I got to get the cardio back. I gotta really lock in and do at least 30 minutes a day.
But if we're considering the 4 pillars of health, let's say water consumption, diet, sleep, and exercise. I think that your sleep and diet would be the 2 that are lacking. Like you're better at drinking water and getting exercise.
I'm checking 1.5 boxes right now.
Yeah. But the sleep is your biggest problem, without a doubt. So, if you could just figure that out,
Yeah, I'm hoping during the summer, maybe I just need to quit watching the NBA at night. I don't know, but it's hard. It's hard to do a sports show, not to my job's so tough, but it is hard to do a sports show at 7 a.m. while also trying to go to sleep early, just because you miss so much shit in the middle of the night. You miss so much shit from 11 p.m. to midnight, conversations, end of games. You got to be somewhat educated when you go in first thing in the morning. I can't imagine how those people like in New York City and other markets live where they're up, at 5 a.m. doing a show. And, they're getting up, and even like the other station in Knoxville, their morning show, I believe, starts at 6 a.m. Like,
well,
that's crazy.
They might just sleep during the day. I mean, that's what a lot of late night TV news people do. They basically work like a third shift.
Yeah. Maybe I need to habitualize napping, but got to be a mover and a shaker during the day. Hell, the grind don't stop. I got to keep pumping out content.
Yeah. Well, let me give you a little dietary advice as someone who's experienced in nutrition. I think with a guy your size, you remind me of my mom in this way, because my mom is always talking about weight she needs to lose, but she's not that heavy. So I think like tiny changes would do you a lot of good. Like if you just cut bread or soda, like if you just picked one to cut, I feel like that would do wonders for you.
I agree. No, I agree. And like I said, I'm going to really try. I'm going to really try to stop on the soda. I'm going to really try. The one time I actually lost a bunch of weight, or not a bunch, but when actually I feel like you could definitely tell a difference, I cut out soda. So I'm going to try it again. Like I said, I'm making it public on the podcast.
Accountability.
Now, that doesn't mean if you see me out or see me at the station or something drinking a Coke to come smack it out of my hand. I don't need that type of accountability. I'm not asking for interference or intervention. I'm just saying I'm trying to hold myself accountable. So I'm going to get on a scale in early July, and I'm going to hope that I'm back into comfortably in the 220s. Under 220 would be great, but in the 220s is my goal. The under 225 is my goal. I'm going to try really hard over the next 2 months to make that happen.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully we'll get updates on the podcast.
No, not going to be any updates on the podcast because hopefully there is just no updates. Hopefully there are just no new developments. It's just, hey, I'm angry maybe because I don't have any caffeine and maybe my head hurts. But outside of that, I'm not going to talk about it.
No updates, huh?
No updates. Hopefully there's no news.
You're just going to do it and then it'll be.
Hopefully, I'm going to try, but I'm also at that age where I'm wondering, like, is the metabolism just that slow? Is the testosterone starting to slip? Like, can my body still change? I don't know. We'll see.
Have you considered the carnivore diet?
No, I don't want to try any of that goofy shit. My friend Tim, coworker, he was doing the carnivore diet, and I think he did it for like 3 days. Like, fuck this. I don't want to do stuff like that. I'm just going to try to cut out on some extra stuff and just lock in. That's really the goal.
BBBE, they call it. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. That's all you eat, basically. That's what I just bought at the store. So,
all right, let's talk about some funny stuff. I'm tired of talking about my depression and big old body.
Okay, well, I hope you get to feeling better. I wish I could help you with your journey, but we're all on a difficult journey.
You can't turn back time. You can't bring Pops back. You're not God.
That's right.
Not much you can do.
I'm not God.
As you pop us in.
Makes me God-like when I pop us in. I mean, let's be honest. Although I got a new flavor. I got smooth. These are only people call me a pussy. Actually, no one's called me a pussy. Well, my friend Wilson back home, because he does the 6s. I do the 6s at night, but during the day I only do the 3s. Because
so you're carrying around different scores, different levels depending on your mood and day.
Well, like I have this weird I don't know if it's a blood sugar thing or what it is with my body, but like if I pop 6 or 9 milligrams during the day, I feel awful. And I guess it's because I got so much caffeine going during the day too. So I get this like anxiety and get shaky, and I'm just like I'm lightheaded. So I can only do the 3 milligrams in. I just keep those out through the day. But then at night when I'm getting ready to crash, I do 9 milligrams. I do a 6 and a 3. Can you believe that? A 6 and a 3. And that helps me. It gives me this like big spike before bed, and then I crash. It's like I go right up and then come down. It's like, I don't know. There's some science to that too. I don't know what it is, but there's people that drink coffee before bed. because it gives you a little burst, but then on the crash, it's like it helps you sleep. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But anyway, yeah. Well, how's your week going otherwise? Any fun stuff? Anything exciting?
I've got two things really on my mind when it comes to, really, since the last time we spoke. So we spoke on Monday, and actually two big things in my life, at least in terms of entertainment,
Pussy
have
and beer.
happened. I don't like beer. You should know that.
I know.
I do enjoy the other, though.
It just sounds better than pussy and White Claw, you know? No need to wink, we know.
No, I've consumed two. I've consumed a lot of two things that I've thought a lot about when it comes to entertainment. A new Netflix show.
Oh.
Baby Reindeer. Have you heard of this?
No. Is it a Christmas show?
It is not. It's not. It's a pretty fucked up show about this woman who's clearly mentally deranged starts stalking this guy. Like, it's a British show. He starts stalking this guy, and she keeps calling him Baby Reindeer. She keeps writing him emails and always calls him Baby Reindeer. And
Weird.
It's a 7-episode limited series, and I just finished that last night.
Reminds me of an old neighbor of mine. I used to have this girl next door that would, she was crazy, just batshit crazy. It was when I first moved to Knoxville, like the first year I was there. And she would beat on my door in the middle of the night. And I don't know. She said she had like an abusive boyfriend or something. But when I tell you nuts, I mean, she was off her fucking rocker to the point where eventually it ended with her getting evicted. I saw like 6 cop cars show up one night and they just drug her out and put her in the back of a van. But I went over to her place one night.
And did what?
You know, just hung out. She needed refuge from we were having a little party next door, and me and a friend actually went over next door and went through some of her stuff, and that was a different time, but we didn't steal anything, but we had the idea. I can't say who it was, but oh, by the way, today's Jordan's birthday. Happy birthday, Jordan. I believe Jordan's 30 today, so big day for him.
Sorry that you were just outed for going through this woman's stuff.
No, it definitely wasn't him. It was mainly my idea. I was, if I'm being honest, okay, I was looking for pills. I was looking to see if she had anything that could get us high. I was looking for like some Adderall or something. Because she was nuts, and I knew she had mental problems. So, like, when we went over there, I was, I saw some pill bottles and stuff. I was like, what is this chick taking? Is there anything we can take out of here? And to my credit, we did not steal anything. We didn't take anything because she didn't have the type of stuff I was looking for.
Happy birthday, Jordan. Sorry you've been outed as someone going through someone's panty drawer looking for hydros and amphetamines.
He was not doing it. It was my doing. He was just with me.
I don't think that would help with the police.
And we weren't looking for hydros. I was looking for speed, for amphetamines. She didn't have any. Her craziness came from some other type of pills. So I've never
probably from getting her ass beat.
I don't know, man. She said that, but like she was one of these people that you ever just meet somebody that's so fucking crazy that like, I mean, you can't reliably believe anything they say. I mean, she was totally nuts, like 100%. The cheese fell off her cracker a long time ago. Kind of hot, though. Kind of hot.
Well, this show, this woman is not hot, but she's off her rocker. She's a big old gal, and it's based off a true story. It's supposed to be a true story, and it's kind of a mindfuck. It leaves you feeling with different emotions because it's not all just cut and dry, good guy, bad guy. Everyone's got layers to them. Everyone's complicated. At some point, you're like, wow, I feel bad for this girl. And other times, you're like, wow, she's crazy. And then, like, wow, this guy who's getting stalked, he's kind of an asshole. And, there's a bunch of layers to it. And the ending's a nice gut punch. The ending's a nice gut punch. I would recommend it. I don't know if you have internet and streaming out there in your shipping container. Although your Audio sounds good. Your Wi-Fi, it sounds like you got the Wi-Fi figured out.
Well, thank God. Thank God we've actually got connection. It took me a while to get it going, but yeah, I do have a little TV here. Actually, it's one of those, like, it's like 1 foot long. It's such a tiny TV. It's more than a foot.
Also, you don't have your TV.
Yeah, I have my TV, but it's not hooked up. It's a long story. I lost my remote. And so, like, I need to get like a universal remote to work this TV, because I can hook up my Roku to this TV and I can turn it on the side button, but there's no manual volume button. So I can't turn the volume up and down. So I need a new universal remote. I've got it in my notes to get a universal remote, but so I'm just using this little baby TV. It's literally like 18 inches. I mean, it's like if you took 2 of my penises erect and put them back to back, that's what this TV screen is.
You'd get about halfway there. You'd get about halfway there. The problem is with your thing that's not how they measure inches when it comes to TVs. So you might be in trouble.
All I'm saying is it's like a foot and a half wide.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I'm just
they don't measure it by width. They go from corner to corner. They go diagonally.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like top right to bottom left, I believe is how they do it.
Not every TV's a rectangle, but every rectangle is a square or something like that.
That doesn't matter in this situation. It's just top right to bottom left. Screen size. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
So that's a good one. And then also, have you been keeping up at all with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef?
I have not. What's going? See, I don't know as much about Kendrick Lamar. He's not really in my rap rotation as much. I know a couple things. I know, what is it, Humble? Like I know he's respected and whatnot, but he's not really someone I know a lot about.
Yeah, well, they've been beefing over the last 3 weeks or so, and on Tuesday he finally dropped his big "fuck you" to Drake.
To Pimp a Butterfly.
He did do that album, To Pimp a Butterfly, yes, but it was 6 minutes of basically him just letting out all the anger in his heart about how much he hates Drake, and it was good. It was a nice throwback. It made me feel young again, because when I was 15 to like 25, I really lived for rap beefs and stuff like this, and it's been pretty boring over the last 10 years. I've kind of gravitated away from rap and graduated away from most rap, but I got to be honest, these last couple of days I'm back sucked in.
Have guys mellowed out over the last few years, or is it
there's been no 50 Cent. Like 50 Cent was always my favorite rapper because I liked the aggression and him willing to talk shit to everybody, and there hasn't been any of that at all. And there's been a couple of dust ups. Drake kind of strangely enough has been involved in most of them, just because I guess I was going to say he's an easy target, but he's actually been okay. He won the first one against Meek Mill. Him and Pusha didn't go well for him. And then this last one, he's been kind of the aggressor at times of this, and just kind of baiting Kendrick. And then Kendrick, and I'm catching up to speed. Like a month ago, Kendrick and Future did like a joint album. And at some point, well, actually Kendrick was on the joint album, but he did a song on it. And he addressed a line that J. Cole had where he called J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick the new big three, right? Saying these are the three biggest rappers. It's us three.
No role models.
Not on that song, but yes, correct. That's what J. Cole has. But then Kendrick dropped the song. Yeah, he dropped a verse of that song. It's like, and basically just said, fuck a big three. It's just big me. Basically, like, fuck those other two. Yeah, it's just me. So then that had people feeling a type of way. And J. Cole put a song out and then apologized like a day later and said he's sorry, which fuck J. Cole. He's out of here now. But then Drake's been just baiting and trying to get Kendrick to drop another song. And then, this week, Kendrick dropped 6 minutes of fire. I think you would like it, knowing the context. And he lights up Drake pretty good. And basically just to boil it down, he's like, Drake, no matter what you accomplish, everyone hates you in the rap game, but most importantly, you hate yourself. And he takes the N-word pass away from him at the end, says he can't say the N-word anymore.
I was going to ask about that. If that's
he said no more N-word pass for Drake. He's white, he's Jewish.
We're giving it to Eminem.
Rick Ross keeps calling him a white boy. Keeps calling him white boy. So like they have teamed up. They have taken it out of Drake, and they have said no more N-word pass for him.
Rick Ross, Three Kings, Dre and JayZ and Rick Ross, Three Kings. You said Drake's been baiting and baiting and baiting. I think I saw that video actually, but
I thought that was Slim Thug on Three Kings.
Well, there's a song that's Rick Ross and JayZ and Dr. Dre. What am I thinking of? I thought it's called Three Kings, but I might be.
There is one with Rick Ross, Dr. Dre, and JayZ. You're right. I was thinking of the one with Slim Thug, Bun B, and T.I. Okay. Either way, that one's older.
Yeah. Do you hear what I said? Do you hear what I said, T? I said Drake's been baiting and baiting and baiting. I think I saw that video. Yeah. But so I was going to ask about the N-word. So with Drake, is there a thing with, there's a word for this. You've told me about it before with the black community that, how do I phrase this? The lighter skin versus darker skin.
Colorism is what it's called.
So is that a thing with Drake? Is like they think a lot of his mainstream success and stuff is because he was more appealing to the white community?
I don't know if they're giving that credit for Drake on just the shade of his skin. With Drake, what they're tapping into is that he is cosplaying as black, that he's not that like growing up he was this Jewish kid on Nickelodeon that in the song he says wore Tommy Hilfiger and not FUBU. Basically like he's not a part of the culture. It's not so much as like, hey, we're not honoring that he's black because he's light skinned. It's like he's not with the culture is what Kendrick said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Taking away his past though, I mean that I feel like that would be pretty emasculating as, as being a member of the black community. Like you should be able to say that word,
I don't think that anybody is going to really quit listening to Drake. I don't think.
I mean, you can't argue the guy's success, right? Like,
well, you can argue it. Well, see, that's the thing is what is success? And I think that's what rap beef, and this is what I love about it. It really boils down to what is success. Well, what is success? Like if it's just money, sure. Like if that's what you judge your success by is money, okay, fine. Yeah, Drake's made a lot of money.
Well, yeah, everybody got a deal, and he did it without one. I mean, the guy has sold millions and millions of records. I mean, very successful.
I mean, he can say that if he wants, but like the deal. I mean, I know that's a line he had, but like he also, you can argue, wouldn't have been as famous without Lil Wayne co-signing him at his most famous. You know what I mean? Like Lil Wayne, and helped make Drake a superstar. So I don't know, but they're saying like the line that stood out to me that's my favorite line of Kendrick attacking him was, "Once a lame, always a lame. Oh, you thought the money and fame would make you go away?" Basically, like, look, you've been a loser your entire life. You are an actor, and I don't just mean that on Degrassi. I mean like you are trying to cosplay as one of us. No matter how much money and fame you get, you're still going to be a weirdo. You're still going to be a lame-o, and we're not going to respect you. Like that's essentially what the beef boils down to.
Yeah, that's cold. That's pretty cold.
I like it. You should listen to it. It's a good 6 minutes. On Monday, I want your takeaway from it.
From Kendrick Lamar's new Drake, it's a diss track from
6 minutes. Euphoria.
What's the name of the tune?
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
Okay,
that was also a show on HBO.
Yeah, and there's levels to it. He's got Richard Pryor as the Wiz from the adaptation of Wizard of Oz in the black community, the Wiz. Yeah, where he's playing something at the beginning that says everything you say I am, or everything you say about me is true, and like the next line is like I'm a phony. So it's basically like, because there's also been like a Michael Jackson and Prince thing dynamic of this beef. So there's layers to it that you might not fully understand. Right. But the actual like lyricism, I think you'll be impressed. I think it'll get you back into rap.
So I'm already into rap, baby. I listen to rap every day. Once a certain hour strikes, I turn it over to just rap. So I listen to rock and roll during the day, but then once it gets dark, like 8 o'clock or whatever, I turn it to rap. So every night,
bro, your playlist is fire.
That's right. I'm playing the hits every night. You know, Tupac hit 'em up. I'm playing fucking. Speaking of rap beefs, I fucked your wife. How about that? Jesus Christ! I didn't realize.
Well, bitch, he bitch.
Well, he mentions wife in there too. He mentions wife.
I'm pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure that's what. I'm pretty sure he says that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. I'm pretty sure is how he starts.
Yeah. He says that, but if you look it up, it mentions wife in there too.
Okay.
Google the lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah, you claim to be a player, but fucked your wife. We bust on bad boys. Like I know he says that, like in the song, but just at the beginning, that's the opening line that everyone talks about.
But then in To Live and Die in L.A., that's how that song starts. You know, with the reporter asking him about the beef, the East Coast and West Coast, and I had sex with your wife, and not in those words, and like that's a badass song. I mean, they're straight up saying they're going to murder him. I mean, I don't even know.
Both those guys died. You know, both those guys did end up dying. But I got to say, like, it's been pretty, I don't want to say annoying because, like, it's been avoidable. And I appreciated Kendrick not being afraid of the backlash of, you know, there's a little homophobia in there, too. There's a little homophobia in there, too. And like you said, colorism. And I think the way you feel about comedy and how you should be able to say anything you want in comedy, I feel that way about rap. Like I think it's a pure art form in that regard. Like I don't care if someone calls someone else gay on record, and like, you know, I have no problem with that. Does it offend me? No. Might it offend somebody that's gay? I don't care.
I mean,
I don't care. In rap, because that's what we used to say. We used to say, "Hey, he's gay. Hey, I had sex with his wife. Hey, I'm going to kill him." Like that's what made beef great, and I do appreciate that we kind of got back to that a little bit.
Well, being gay is like a major like thing in the black community, right? Like the rap, like here's what I'm saying. Let me rephrase this. They've attacked a lot of rap has been homophobic for a long time.
Sure.
That's what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
yes.
and that's a big like slight to a black guy, right? Like they don't even joke around about stuff.
I don't know if I would classify as a big slight to a black guy. I don't know about that, but like to a rapper, yes, probably. But like, I think any macho man would feel the same way. Like, I don't think that's necessarily a race thing.
Well, what I'm saying is like,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think in any genre where you're calling somebody, like when somebody's supposed to be tough and street or really just tough, because I think like on the flip side, like if you called like a UFC fighter in the 90s, if you called them homosexual, they would have that same offense. Like you hanging out with your bros on a football team and you call somebody that, like I think just any place where you're supposed to be a macho man, and rap's kind of that way too, your street cred and all that. Like I think that's it more so than the racial dynamic.
Unless you're Dwayne Howard, of course, or Dwight Howard. But
you blew that joke.
Yeah, well, blew something. No, I'm just saying, like a lot of white guys joke around like that, call each other gay or whatever. But I feel like black people don't play that shit. You know what I mean? Like black dudes don't joke around about. They don't call each other like. Or I'm saying if they are calling each other that, it's more of an insult. Is what I feel like.
And I'm saying I disagree.
Okay, well, I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just saying that. So.
Now, like, there's the stereotypes of like, you know, white people being maybe a little bit more willing to be weird and wild. Like, there's an episode of Dave that's kind of like that.
Okay.
That where Dave, Lil Dicky, is hanging out with Benny Blanco, who is a music producer that's now actually dating Selena Gomez, and they're doing some really weird stuff that most normal people wouldn't do, like taking showers together. When I say normal, I mean straight, just for the record. Apologies. I'm not saying you're a weirdo if you're gay. I'm just saying what most straight people would do. And like then their black friends come over and like the rapper's trying to be like, hey, let's quit. Like they're not going to think this is funny. To which then they actually have a conversation about that. And the black rappers are like, basically it's asked like, when's the last best friend black movie you saw? I think is what he said. Like the best like bromance movie. Like it's like white movies, you can maybe get away with some bromance angles of it, but like they're like in the black community, we don't get to be bromance. We don't get to do that. Like
Coming to America.
That's not really a bromance movie.
Are there black bromance movies? Like
well, that's what they're saying. Like, yeah, there's not really.
I mean, there's definitely movies where it's like a black cast and there's black friends, like the Medea movies and like
the Medea movies. I thought you were gonna say like Friday or like The Best Man or something, but
Norbit.
Yeah, the Nutty Professor. But yeah,
you remember Rasputia?
So I don't. Yeah, I did watch Norbit. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Norbit.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Well,
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
I am, because it's a character. They were overemphasizing the character to make it quotable.
Who is they? Who is they?
Eddie Murphy and the makers of the movie, to make it quotable. That's why they overemphasize the characters, you know. But poor Norbit, he was trying. That guy never caught a fucking break. You know, that Rasputia just giving him shit all the time. I loved that movie when I was in like 7th grade. So what are the greatest rap beefs?
Well, Tupac and Biggie both ended up dead.
Clearly, that's at the top, right?
That's the one you think of. Both people died. You had also, like, you know, just the. I thought it was cool, just like, you know, growing up, especially like the East Coast versus West Coast.
Yeah.
The difference in culture. The second one's probably JayZ and Nas, which had a lot. It had similar dynamics to claims of having sex with people's baby mothers.
Well, did Tupac actually have sex with Biggie's wife?
Before they were married.
So that actually did happen, though.
I mean, I wasn't there. Obviously, I was barely born. But yes, it does seem to be understood that Faith Evans, who, you know, was a singer, did have sex with Tupac. Yeah, before they were married, though.
She was on that song I like with what is it, Matoma? The West Coast Party, I think. That's Faith Evans and Matoma. It's got like Biggie on it, but I think it was posthumous. I think Biggie had already died, but they used a little bit of like Going Back to Cali on it.
She also sang in the "I'll Be Missing You" song. She was the woman singing with Puffy on "I'll Be Missing You." She's famous. I mean, she was famous. You know the song "I'll Be Missing You"? Are you aware of that one?
I'll be missing you. No. I mean, can you sing it? It seems like it would be like kind of R&B. Is that what it is? Like
yeah, I mean, it's like I don't want to say cover, but like they sample it's similar to the Police. "I'll Be Missing You," or I'll be watching you, or I'll be missing you. Is that how that goes? Which one is that one?
You're thinking of every breath you take. Yeah.
Well, that's
about
a
stalker.
Well, right, but that's the song. But like they use that, like every step I take, every move I make, I'll be missing you.
Oh yeah.
Thinking of the day
I never
when
really
you went away.
Oh, I know that song.
It's kind of hard with you not around. Know you're in heaven, smiling down, watching us while we pray for you.
Was that about
every
Tupac?
day we pray for you? No, it's about Biggie. Puffy didn't like Tupac. He wrote it for Biggie.
That's right.
I used to love hanging out in my cousin's pool in summer of '97, waiting for the local hip hop station to play "I'll Be Missing You." Or the Pop Channel, I would play it too. But Nas and JayZ had obviously a classic one. Ether Takeover, Super Ugly. That's where JayZ said that he had sex with Nas's baby mother and left the condom on the baby seat.
Oh, goodness.
And then JayZ's mother called him and said, "Hey, take that down. We're not doing that." And JayZ's on the radio crying after Ether. Like, Nas literally made him cry.
Really?
Yeah. He was crying on the radio about it. I think it hit him in his feelings. But see, that one was like similar. That one was like JayZ and that beef was like, "Hey, I'm Drake. I'm playing around. I'm gonna take shots at a couple people. I'm gonna beef." And then Nas dropped Ether and was like, "Listen here, you little bitch. I hate you. I've hated you for a long time, and I'm going to rap to the whole world, but I want you to hear how much I hate you." That's kind of like the way it was, and then yeah, like, you know, you could really feel the venom coming from that. That's kind of what Drake did at first. Like, "Hey, I'm just rapping. Let's have a little competition." But then, like Nas, Kendrick came out and was like, "Listen here, you little bitch." And like in the song, at one point, Cody, he says, he's like, "I'm going to go straight hater," or something like that. He's like, "I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way, like, you basically everything about him, like the way you say the N-word, just like everything." He's like,
the way you groomed Millie Bobby Brown.
You know, he didn't go as far as that, but like he had some homophobia in there where he was kind of laying into like some questionable things about Drake. But yeah, that one of my personal favorites when 50 Cent ended Ja Rule's career. That's another one where you really just had the hate on one side with 50 Cent, how much he hated Drake, how much he hated Ja Rule, which ironically enough, he used to make fun of him for always singing on his songs and doing pop songs for women. And then the moment he ended Ja Rule's career, he started doing the same thing, like on 21 Questions and Candy Shop and all that. But the difference was 50 Cent had street cred. You know, he had been shot 9 times. He had sold drugs. He had done all these real things and actually had respect in the hood.
Kind of hard to have more street cred than 50, right? I mean, the guy got shot
100%.
9 times.
No, yeah, like 100%. He got shot 9 times, not from like a attempted rap beef either. It was like an attempted drug deal, like an attempted like drug beef going on in there. So like, yeah, no, he had the streets with him for sure, and Ja Rule didn't. Which there's some similarities in all these beats because I think Drake, like Kendrick says that too. Like, hey, I like the melody, Drake, when you're singing like Hotline Bling, make the songs for the women. We don't like tough. Yeah, we don't like tough guy Drake. We like the Drake that's acting tough because we don't believe you. And kind of like that's what 50 Cent's problem with Ja Rule was, is like you sing for hoes and sound like the Cookie Monster was one of the lines he had about that. And you know, Pop-Tart, sweetheart, you're soft in the middle, and like all that stuff. But like also Ja Rule was like running around with a group called Murder Inc. And then 50 says, like, you can't run around calling yourself Murder Inc. when you ain't never poke nothing or pop nothing. Stop fronting. Stab shot or like stop fronting. You guys aren't like about that.
What an interesting.
I love rap beef. Yeah, I love rap beef. Common, the Common and Ice Cube, 2 actors, had a really good one in the early 90s too.
So could a guy like 50 Cent, could he just walk down the street?
The Bitchin' You is a really good one.
Could fit a guy like 50, could he walk down the street like on the south side of Chicago and not be scared? Like he could just walk through there like I'm fucking untouchable anywhere.
I don't want to get into, you know, the difference in neighborhoods and everything. Like maybe at his peak, sure. But I think the real question that people always ask in rap games, typically, Cody, at least probably used to in the early 2000s and mid 2000s when I was a huge fan, you got to be able to still go in your hood. You got to have respect in your own hood. Right. So like, could 50 Cent walk through Jamaica, Queens and be like untouchable? Like a made man of sorts, if you want to make it like a mafia thing. Like the mob guys can't go into other people's territory. That's seen as disrespectful.
Well, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But like the question is, can you still go in your own hood? And like, if you're beefing with somebody, can the person you're beefing with go in your hood? Do they have that respect? Because that was another thing. Like Lil Flip and T.I. had a beef, and like this is when T.I. was young and reckless. Like he went into Houston and into like Lil Flip's neighborhood and like got more love in Lil Flip's hood than Lil Flip did. And like he's doing these videos for YouTube, like in Lil Flip's hood dancing and like basically making a mockery of him. JayZ. And like that basically won him the beef, like on the internet, because like they liked his own city was fucking with T.I. more than Lil Flip.
Yeah, whatever you like. JayZ was talking about that in Renegade. He's talking, you know, still got love for the hood and all this, and like if JayZ just walked around in the hood in New York, I feel like JayZ's, you know, kind of untouchable there in New York. I mean, you got to think he made the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. So, I mean, between him and Biggie, you know, Brooklyn's finest, you might say, JayZ and Biggie Smalls make you shit your drawers, and those guys are just untouchable.
Like that would be that's what's supposed to happen. Now, you know, whether or not JayZ could walk by now with how rich he is. Like I think you hit a certain level of wealth and somebody will be wild enough to take a shot at you, maybe, but like that's the concept. That's how it's supposed to be.
JayZ could slap a Chinese girl on the streets of New York if he wanted to.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, I think you could probably slap I think you could slap a Chinese girl in New York. And
well, I'm just saying that because apparently that's like a thing right now in New York that's happening, is like black dudes are slapping Chinese girls. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, that it's only black guys and Chinese women. I'm just saying that it seems to be a trope or a common denominator right now.
I'm unaware of what's happening there.
You just have to Google it. You know, there's a lot going on, though. You might have missed it in the news, which is understandable because there's protests going on and, you know, all kinds of stuff happening. I saw where they're at the
Gucci Mane and JayZ. That's a good one too. Gucci Mane and JayZ, because that one spilled into like actual murders and people like, you know, Gucci had a line that said basically, "Go dig your dead homie up."
Yeah.
Bet he ain't gonna say
Wow.
shit. Like basically, go dig your man up. Bet he won't say shit because like they came trying to run up on Gucci and he shot him. He shot him and just killed him.
The type of shit that those guys used to say, like, I mean, when I heard that "Hit Me Up" song, I mean, you know,
hit me up.
Hit him up,
Yeah.
hit him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first heard that song, you know, 35 years after it was released, I was like, holy shit, this is, because I've always been a Biggie guy. You know, I always preferred Biggie over Tupac because that's what I grew up on East Coast rap for the most part.
But, yeah, Arkansas, of course, you're going to be repping the East Coast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Rural Arkansas, we're down with Biggie,
East Side,
JayZ, and you know. But yeah, no. When I first heard "Hit 'Em Up," I was like, "Holy fuck!" The things these guys are saying are like they straight up said. There's a line in there where he's like, you know, it just started with Biggie, but now, and they basically cut out the beats, and he's just talking, and he's like, "We're gonna fucking murder all you motherfuckers," and like just
die
straight
slow.
Up, yeah,
die slow. Poor Mobb Deep. He talks about one of those guys having sickle cell. Yeah, it was bad. Like, so I mean, the thing about that is Biggie, I don't think really ever had a diss track back, at least according to like what they claimed. Like, Who Shot You was not supposed to be about Tupac, is what Biggie claimed.
So Pac died first?
Yes.
Okay.
And like Tupac, so basically, like, I don't know if you're interested in the genesis of what actually happened or like the way it's been the way it was actually portrayed.
Like, I don't know if our audience cares this much about it, but I'm very interested.
Yeah, I was gonna say for 20 minutes we've talked about my weight loss journey, and the other 30 minutes we've talked about rap beef. That people might be like, this is the worst episode ever, but we will get to power ranking McDonald's. Just wait, we will power rank McDonald's at the very end. But like the story goes, like Biggie and Tupac were cool, they were friends, they were fine. Tupac was going a little crazy, and one night they were all recording, like up in, I believe, in New York, and down in the lobby, some people ran up on Tupac and stabbed him, and he thought Biggie had something to do with it, and Biggie's camp claimed they didn't have nothing to do with it, or actually shot him, not stabbed him. And they thought Biggie was behind it, and Bad Boy and Puffy, which now that we know a little bit more about Puffy probably did have something to do with it, but so then Tupac was mad, it was just basically like, fuck Biggie. Then Who Shot You dropped around that same time, which Biggie claims was not about Tupac. It was just basically a street song. But like, Who Shot You after I got shot? Okay, fuck you then. So then Hit 'Em Up came out, and then he died, you know, and then Biggie died. And
I was listening to Warning last night. That's a good Biggie song.
Yeah, Eminem's a good rapper on that one.
Yeah.
7 different methods, of course, or whatever he says.
I saw where the protesters had made their way to UT, the other UT, your UT, Knoxville, well, my UT.
The other UT. Wow.
What I mean
wow. Official statement from Cody McClure.
No, hang on.
Texas is the real UT.
Hang on, that was poorly worded. I meant the UT that I'm not at, location-wise. I meant is what I meant.
But you mean the University of Texas is what you mean?
I meant that there were already protests going on at this UT, like they're already happening here, and so now I'm interested in the other UT, what's going on there. But
the other UT again. Well, wow, there he goes again.
No. I mean, they're both, you know, UT. I mean, but I dispelled this whole thing a long time ago when I discovered the University of Tehran, which started in like 1492. That's the original UT. But anyway, so your protesters, I guess they got him out of there. Nobody got.
I got no clue, buddy. I got no clue.
Nobody got hit over the head with a pipe or anything. I guess
these are. I tell you about these stories. I tell you that there's certain things I ignore. The protests, I see a little bit of them. I know that there are protests breaking out all across campus, but I'm not paying attention.
You weren't there with your sign?
No, I wasn't. And I didn't even see anything from it. I didn't even know it was happening.
Oh, well, apparently it was. I don't know what happened.
Apparently nothing.
I'm kind of worried about some of these are getting physical, you know, like the ones here, they They brought out like tear gas, I think, and there was a thing up at Columbia where you probably don't know the Neil Young song back in the day, but when those kids got shot at Kent State, "For dead in Ohio," like I'm hoping it doesn't escalate to that because
I know the story of the hurricane.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah, the man the authorities came to blame. They made a movie about it. I know that one. I used to love that song as a kid.
Well, that's not
it's one of the first
at all.
It's one of the first songs I know, but that's one of the first songs I remember referencing a true story and telling a long story that I liked. I was like, man, I'm so deep. As a fifth grader, I like real music. I like storytelling in my music.
Yeah, music is a great art form, but I don't know. Some of the girls were telling me that like they brought out tear gas and like somebody got beat up, and I think
where was this original shooting at? Kent State? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that was back in the 60s.
Yeah, I know. I've heard of that story, but I don't know the song you're talking about.
I'm just hoping things don't escalate.
Pistol shots ran out in a barroom night.
But I can't go off just what these girls tell me. They tend to be kind of dramatic, and they don't always know what they're talking about. They talk about some crazy shit too. These girls, you'd be amazed.
I can't wait for you to ride around listening to Euphoria with them. Be like, hey, did you hear this? What do you think? What are your thoughts on Kendrick Lamar dissing Drake?
They wouldn't like it because they love Drake.
Then you'll play them 50 push-ups. That was Drake's diss to Kendrick.
Girls talk about some gross stuff. You'd be amazed some of the stuff they talk about.
I'm on my period. Oh, I need some tampons.
They talk about periods. Like they talk about things like I'm not even there. Like they don't even care. They talk about the. I mean,
that's just Cody. He won't say nothing.
Detailed period stuff. I'm talking about like how heavy the flow is. And just disgusting. They talk about shit in the bed and fucking a guy with an eye patch. All kinds of weird stuff they talk about, but. That's what you get on a daily basis as a ride share provider.
A professional driver.
I had these girls a couple days ago talking about true crime. They were talking all about how much they love, like they wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Just like all these true crime shows they've been watching. And the one girl was like, I love it because it's so realistic. Like I like to put myself in the girl's shoes and like, what would I do and all this stuff. And I couldn't help but think while I was sitting up there, I was like, what if I just started stabbing this girl in the neck? Like obviously I'd never do that, but I was just thinking like, how much do you really love it?
What would happen? What would happen if you faked it?
I would probably be banned from the platform, I would assume, but I don't know.
If you just looked at her when she said that and said, funny you should say that, and you locked the door.
Yeah, I don't know. It would probably...
Or you like immediately pulled over.
She would probably be terrified, I would imagine.
She'd pepper spray the shit out of you.
Yeah.
It was a joke. You said you like true crime.
It did get me to thinking, though, about, like, stabbing people and stuff. And I was thinking, like, if there was a purge, like, if there was a real-life purge, would you participate? If you had a free pass one night a year to just murder somebody, do you think you would do it? Just to kind of get that. I wonder if you get, like, a certain level of aggression out. Like, maybe it'd be good for you, like, once a year.
Well, I mean, that's essentially the plot of the movie that you're describing. But
yeah,
no, I don't think I would do it. I don't think it'd get your aggression out. I think it would really make you. It'd probably be something that you like. Oh man, I want to do this all the time. Or you'd feel so guilty that it would like just grieve you, or you would just wait all year for the purge, and like your tension would be even higher. You'd just constantly be angry, like thinking about taking it out a year from now. I think you'd be a very vengeful person.
What if you had like a real op? Like if there was just a guy that you felt like who needed it?
I still say no.
No. I like to think I wouldn't either. I don't think I would.
The problem would be like the problem is what if they come to kill you? That's what you'd be worried about. Because it's legal for them, too.
Yeah, I think if I was in the purge, I'd just lock myself in a room for the night.
That's what happens at the movies, yeah.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't sleep that night, You probably
That's the first one.
You'd want to be armed. You'd want to be just sitting up all night with like an AR-15 and then, waiting for the sunrise. It'd be scary. That was a great idea for a movie, though, a movie series.
The first one's so shitty, though.
Is it?
The first one's so shitty. The first one, I feel like, had so much potential, and they completely blew it. I will say I thought the sequels and prequels were pretty good, or most of them were pretty good. But the first one was trash.
I don't know how many of them I watched.
I think I watched 4 of them, 5 of them maybe. I don't know. It was
Yeah.
trash though. First
Yeah,
one was awful.
They really lost me when they had that guy on the unicycle.
I think that was Saw.
Oh, was that a different one?
Yeah, I think that's Saw.
Oh, okay.
And the unicycle guy was pretty cool, actually.
So on this McDonald's menu ranking, are we doing the entire menu?
I was just told or requested, and appreciate we got a couple more requests for future power rankings. Appreciate that. But yeah, just power ranking the McDonald's menu.
The entire menu.
Yes. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah. I mean, you're going first, right?
I'm going first?
Yeah, I'd like for you to go first.
Oh, God. I was waiting for you to go first. Hold on.
Because I'm going to have a couple of like caveats, and now this is only the menu the way it is presented, right? This is not, there's no customizations or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out my number 5. I mean, my top 3 are definitely locked in. My list is going to sound pretty fat.
My list is going to be so trash. I'm such a normie McDonald's eater.
So do we? I guess we're including the cheap items too, right? Like the.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are going to be like, "Wow, this guy doesn't McDonald's at all." So I think you should go first.
Okay, I can go first. I think I've got mine. I think I've got mine the way that I want it. On one of mine, can I do a double? Not a double, but it's like an alternate. Because it's the same item, but I'm just going to do it and then.
Can you not just give me 5 items? Do you have to make everything confusing?
All right. First of all, my top 5, my 5 items are all going to be food. Okay.
Hold on. We got to set it up better than that. We're going to try to do a social media breakout video here, okay?
Go power rankings.
We'll wait to do that. We'll wait to do that until I set it up. I'm going to set it up by saying what we're doing, and then you say go power rankings, and I'll say, all right, Cody, top 5 McDonald's menu items, go now. Okay, you ready?
So we're cutting this out.
That's the plan, yeah.
Okay. All right, let me get ready.
All right.
I hate being on the spot.
All right, time for our weekly power rankings. We're looking for the 5 best McDonald's menu items.
Go power rankings.
All right, Cody, what's your top 5?
All right, John. Number 5 for me, I'm going with my nuggies. The old chicken nuggets, the pink slime chicken nuggets that are not actually chicken. I'm pretty sure what they do is they take everything from the chicken that's left over, and then they put it in this big thing that like spirals out this. Have you seen the videos on YouTube of the pink slime? It's very gross.
We don't have enough time for you to go through all this. We got to go.
It's very gross. Occasionally you get a feather in there, but that's part of the game. Number 5 is the nuggies. They have a nice crispness on the outside. And I'll tell you a little hack, all right, with the nuggies.
We don't have time for this.
Because I'm not big on McDonald's sauces. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm not big on McDonald's sauces. But if you ask them for honey, a lot of times they have regular honey. And that goes well with chicken nuggets. My Grammy used to give it to me when I was a boy. In the Mighty Kids Meal, I got honey with my nuggies. I
always knew you were Winnie the Pooh.
Do what? Oh, yeah.
I always knew you were Winnie the Pooh. Quit fucking talking while I'm trying to land the joke.
Oh, bother.
I always knew you were Winnie the Pooh.
Number 4 for me, I'm going with the classic McDouble. Okay? I like the dehydrated onions. I like the amount of ketchup that they put on it. I realize that the Quarter Pounder has actual beef, whereas the McDouble has that, microwave soy beef or whatever, but I prefer the McDouble. I like the way it's layered with the cheese on top of the little patties, the dehydrated onions instead of the big chunks of onion. I prefer that. And, the pickles and mustard, I could take it or leave it. But
do you know how long these fucking social media videos can be? Tighten it up.
Number 4 is the McDouble. Number 3, the sausage McMuffin. And I don't mean the sausage egg McMuffin. You throw that round egg in the garbage. I don't fuck with the round egg. Give me the sausage McMuffin with only sausage and cheese, and I like the muffin a little crispy. It's got those kind of black edges where it burned a little bit. Sausage McMuffin, number 3. Number 2 for me is a hybrid between the bacon, egg, and cheese or sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. I like the biscuit. Sometimes I get sausage, egg, and cheese. Sometimes I get bacon, egg, and cheese. When the bacon, egg, and cheese is done right, it is an elite menu item. It's not always done right. You have to find a reliable McDonald's who knows what the fuck they're doing with the biscuit. But when it's done right, it's elite. And number 1 for me is the McDonald's French fries. I've said for years it's the greatest fast food item that's ever existed. Real Idaho potatoes, crisp and golden brown and yellow. You can't beat them.
My top 5 McDonald's menu items. Number 4, sausage egg biscuit. I don't like McDonald's cheese. Keep the cheese off, but I love the sausage and egg combo. Sausage egg biscuit, number 5. Number 4, the barbecue sauce. You shit on McDonald's sauce. I think you're wrong. The tangy barbecue. The tangy barbecue is so good. Whip the nuggies and whip the fries. You take the fries, you dip them in the barbecue sauce. Elite, elite, elite. Number 3, give me the McDonald's Sprite. I dare you to take a drink without going, The McDonald's Sprite, they know what they're doing with their carbonated drinks, the sodas. McDonald's does it better than anybody. And the Sprite reigns supreme. Number 2, the French fries. You already said it. The Idaho potatoes, the staple. Billions and billions. Hell, maybe even trillions and trillions sold at this point. And number 1, the GOAT, the quarter pounder. The quarter pounder with cheese. It's still the best.
You put a sauce and a drink on your list?
That's right.
You can't put a sauce on the list.
I just did.
But you didn't put nuggets on it.
Nuggets got cut. They were in the top 7, not the top 5.
So you would rather just drink the barbecue sauce than dip the nuggets in it? I mean, how does that work?
Honestly, what I would rather have is a quarter pounder with a Sprite, fries, and the barbecue sauce to dip it in. If I can get my top 4, that's a great menu. That's a great meal.
I'm going to throw up. You're dipping your quarter pounder in the barbecue sauce?
No, I'm dipping the fries in the barbecue sauce.
You're dipping your fries in the barbecue sauce?
That's right.
What else are you doing? You mixing a little bit of the barbecue sauce and the Sprite, stirring it in there? That's disgusting.
And sometimes I just get I just get some ketchup with the fries too, and then I do dip the quarter pounder in the ketchup a little bit. I will admit to that.
Donald Trump orders his quarter pounder with no pickles and extra ketchup.
No, I order mine with no pickles, and I get ketchup and mustard on mine.
What about onions?
No onions.
No onions?
I get a quarter pounder, ketchup and mustard only, typically.
Do you get cheese on it?
Yeah, well, a quarter pounder with cheese with ketchup and mustard only.
You said you didn't like the cheese.
I like the cheese on the sausage egg biscuit. It's different cheese.
It's the same cheese.
It feels like a different cheese on that concoction, though.
It's not even real cheese.
I swear it's a different cheese. The cheese on the quarter pounder is not the orange cheese they put on the sausage egg biscuit. The sausage egg and cheese. I don't think it's the same.
It's the same cheese.
It might be, but I don't think it's the same cheese.
It's the same processed American cheese. You can't even call it cheese, but I love it. I love it, whatever it is. It's gross, but I like it. It's basically just coagulated salt, I think. I don't really know what their cheese is, but it's good. Well, there we go. There's our clip.
Thank you to Ben for sending that in. I got a couple other good suggestions from people wanting us to power rank things. We'll do that next Thursday.
What else we got?
Let's see. This is just running down the list. Sports to watch.
Boring.
That seems kind of hateful.
I'm just saying, it's boring.
Well, they all can't.
No hate behind it.
No, I
Golf,
can't find all the ones
number
I
1.
had.
Tennis, number 2.
No, I can't find all the ones I got. I got them somewhere.
NASCAR,
I got them somewhere.
Number 3.
Life phases.
Women's college beach volleyball, number 4.
Life phases. What do you think about that? Elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and adulthood. See, I think you'd have to break it out a little bit more because, like, I think there's young adulthood, early adulthood.
What does that mean? How do you power rank life phases? I mean, I feel like
Just which one you like better? Do you like being a kid the best? Do you like being in college the best? Do you like being in high school? Like I don't know. I think there's something there.
But we're only 30.
Power rank the talk sports producers. I don't know if there's a wide appeal for that. We could do that though at some point.
Number 1.
Guilty pleasures.
I got to go Cam at number 1.
We're not doing that yet. Keep them coming. You can keep making suggestions on the YouTube comments. I do appreciate everyone who's continuing to like and comment. I do appreciate getting emails from YouTube telling me people like the podcast. So that's nice. Continue to do that. Thanks for everyone that left the 5-star reviews. Continue to do that.
Yes.
And continue to listen. Any other thoughts, Cody, before we wrap up?
No, not really. Feel like we pretty well covered it today. I'm glad we talked about your health and rap so much because I didn't really have a lot of topics today. So this was a solid hour and 10. You really brought it this episode. This was a good John episode.
Thanks, man.
You bet.
I needed that compliment. I appreciate you.
God bless America and God bless you.